Man, it's a little cold outside. I think we should heat it up or warm it up. Warm it up, G. Warm it up, G.
I'm about to. Yeah. You know what time it is? It's another like what did Khaled say? Another one.
Yes, another one.
Dishin Dimes, we are back once again. Just before Christmas.
Yes.
This is dope.
Happy holidays to all of you.
Yes. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa.
Yep.
I'm sure there's plenty more that I'm missing in there, but happy all of them.
Yes. We hope you enjoy this holiday season with loved ones.
Yep.
Family, people you won't get to see.
Yep.
As much. I love how FaceTime and Google Duo is a thing because I can be with my family on Christmas,
so
even though we're not there.
Like, do you FaceTime them and watch them open gifts?
Yeah, dude. And it's like, I wish I was there. Nah, but I just I like to FaceTime them to see their reaction on the gifts I buy them, and then they watch my reaction on the gifts they buy me.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it.
That's dope.
What's your real quick? What's your favorite Christmas carol?
Wait.
Christmas song. I mean,
okay, I was gonna say.
Wait, unless you know how to caroling, you go caroling. Yo, you've heard it here. Garry TakeFlight goes caroling at night.
Sometimes, every other year.
Oh, this year you got the year off.
Yes. Favorite Christmas song. I think I'd have to go with This Christmas. But it has to be by Donny Hathaway.
This Christmas?
Yeah.
What the heck is This Christmas?
You've never... Oh, my God, bro.
You mean Last Christmas by Wham?
No. Why is that a Christmas song, by the way?
Because it says the word Christmas in there.
That doesn't make... That can't... like, we got to stop that. Like,
you don't like that song?
I like the song, but it's sad. Like,
it is sad.
The girl left him.
Yeah. Well, and if you watch the music video, it's just like based in like... Almost looks like Colorado, snowy. So I think they just, we need to make a video ASAP.
Yeah, no, that's not. Christmas time is supposed to be happy. This guy is like lost his girl, and next Christmas is gonna be like.
Yeah, but if you watch the video, there's a bunch of smiles in there, so it looks pretty happy to me.
So, all right, as long as he's happy, I guess. What's your favorite Christmas song?
Wait, hold on. Can you like recite a line from
Christmas?
This Christmas?
Oh my God, bro!
I don't know what this song is.
Let's see.
Come on, bring on that caroling voice.
And this Christmas will be
okay.
a very special Christmas.
Say what? To me. Yeah, I got you. Wait, doesn't it?
But you gotta get to bum bum banana bum bum banana that part.
Okay. Wait, doesn't John Legend sing a version of that?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that sing that part, but.
And which one's your favorite?
It has to be a certain one, like Donny Hathaway.
Donny Hathaway.
Yeah.
Nice. I like. Okay.
You know how like some like you gotta have certain Christmas songs, but it has to be like certain
the right voice.
Yeah. Like everybody can't sing them.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't give you the same feels.
They just try to make that one hit wonder.
Yeah. What about you? Favorite Christmas song?
Well, when I was little, and you're gonna laugh, but it was. All I Want for Christmas is a hippopotamus. You know that, and it's like that little baby voice.
Yeah,
like,
with the lisp.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Got all the lists. Yeah, dude. Man. I make them play that song when I'd open up.
That's a good song.
That's a classic.
Yeah,
that's a classic.
Yeah.
No, I think now is like All Alone for Christmas. It's just got a good ring to it. Like
All
I know
Alone
it's
for Christmas.
Yeah, it's
who
in.
Sings that?
I don't know who sings it, but it's in like it's like in Home Alone. I think Home Alone 2, and it's like
really?
Yeah, when he's like going into the New York, and he's like, nobody should be all alone on Christmas.
What? I've never heard that before in my life.
Yes, you have, bro. I'll play it for you after.
I haven't.
Bro, I'll play it for you
Yo,
after.
Chris, you all done, bro?
Yeah, we have the one and only Chris.
The one and
Miranda.
Only. Yo, don't dip out, bro. Say hi, man.
Say hi to the viewers, Chris.
What's up?
All right, man. We'll see
All right,
you.
Chris.
Chris is a good kid.
In all seriousness, I don't know that song you're singing, bro.
By Darlene Love.
Oh, okay.
I told you I said it wrong.
Okay. Nah, you got that. You got that.
Yeah, come on now.
All right, that makes sense.
That's that little jingle. I like it.
I like that.
Oh, no,
Yo, Christmas gets you like all jittery and all like.
It does, man. But you know what's crazy? Like, when I was younger, my dad'd be like, "Man, Christmas is just like another day." But like now when you get older, like when you're little, like when it hit December, you're like, "Oh shoot, it's Christmas month." But now it's true. Like it's like you get older and like December 1st comes, and you're like, "What the heck?" Like you don't
That's facts.
You don't really start to see it until like right now. It's like 3 days away, 2 days away.
Yeah.
Then you get a little bit more excited.
Well, I always get excited. I get excited early, but I think that has to do with like kids.
Yeah, that's
like when
true.
you get older, Christmas does become like a little bit. There's like a time period where it becomes like a little. Okay, you know.
Yeah.
But then when you have kids, it's like starting all over again.
Oh, that's cool. Because you can't wait to see their expressions.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
And you get to go, like do stuff.
So you know what's crazy for me? I think it's the weather. Like if it's not snowing, then I don't believe it's Christmas. Like is that weird? Because I'm from Michigan, so it just snows all the time.
I spent a week before Christmas in Florida in Disney.
Oh,
bro,
that was horrible, right?
I mean, we had a good time, but that's not Christmas.
Yeah. I'm
like in shorts, and I'm like, oh, this is not working.
Yeah. Well, I spent in 2019. I was in Israel training throughout Christmas, and it was like the same thing. Like they had 2 bad days of just really rain, and that was their winter. But it was like I felt like I missed 2019 Christmas, like the whole thing.
Yeah. No, that's not a vibe.
But yeah.
Man. Well, yeah. So what's up, man? What's going on this week? What any news? Any big things happening?
Well, we have winter break coming up for all the kiddos.
That's very true.
The lab is popping. Outside of the lab, I know you're more of a news guy than I am.
I don't think that there was anything too crazy.
Yo, what about Elon is he gonna sell Twitter or what?
Nah, he's just gonna step down.
He's gonna step down?
Yeah.
He's not doing his thing?
I don't know. I saw him. He was like, it's not funny, but it's funny. He was at a Dave Chappelle thing.
Oh, really?
And Dave Chappelle gave him the mic, and he got booed. They booed him horrible.
Oh no! And wait, did he say anything, or just got on stage and got booed?
I guess I don't know if he was like just like saying hello to the crowd, but like as soon as he touched the mic, they were like booing him.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the next day they tried to like put the video on Twitter, and he
took it down.
He took all of them down.
Come on,
yo, that's a G. That's a G.
Yeah, that's a G move.
Yo, imagine just having that much power. Like, I don't like this video of me. I'm gonna take out every single one.
Next.
But yeah, no, that was a thing. But that was about it.
All right.
Yeah, snow lose week. Nah, slow news week. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
But yeah, let's dive into it.
Let's do it.
Well, actually, kind of some news. There was a report out there that a high school basketball team really just kind of dominated this other basketball team, and the news broke, and the high school coach actually got suspended. Reading the article, and I know you're good friends with them or acquaintances.
I know who he is.
But I know this one kind of like got your engine revved up, running up the score. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think that let me first like give a little bit of background, right? So apparently, there was a game And this coach was, from my understanding, they knew that it was going to be that type of game, right?
Okay.
So typically when there's that type of game, you kind of like, I don't know about everybody, but a lot of people will kind of change their game plan. Like if you're, so if you're, if you're a pressing team, you might not press as much, maybe just the first little bit, whatever. So all that to say that my understanding is that that style was changed.
Okay.
Right.
Before the game.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to quote or say what happened, but let's just say, for example, you normally play a man-to-man. So instead of playing a man-to-man, you play a zone.
Right.
You
pack it in.
Yeah. Just because it's not necessary. Whatever. So my understanding is that they did that. My understanding is also that maybe the game got a little bit chippy to a certain extent. Maybe there were some things that were said or done that weren't necessarily sportsman-like
during the game.
Oh
wow, okay.
And again, I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't said any. This is all speculation, alleged. And my understanding is that it was taken wrong. You know what I mean? So as a coach, if I feel that I'm doing my best to, be a good sport, but I'm not receiving that on the other side, run it up.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Run it up, because I think that for a certain, there's just, I don't know. My whole thing on running up the score is basically, here's my feelings. High school is high school basketball. These are the best kids in your town. These are the best kids that, have the opportunity to play. They're growing into their adulthood. I understand that they're not adults, but they're growing into that. Life is not fair. So I think to a certain extent, we have to be able to not necessarily coddle them, but allow them to experience the different things. Now, with that being said, the downside of that, specifically in New Jersey, is that the way that the divisions are set up, they're not fair. Yeah. Right? A lot of them are not fair. They're not designed with competition in mind. They're designed, I don't know how they're designed, but
is it more of like class size or school size, do you think?
I know the group size. So there's 4 groups.
Okay.
There's a group 1, a group 2, a group 3, and a group 4. Plus your Catholic schools and stuff like that.
Okay.
They have their own group. But that's only statewide. The divisions and the conferences are not set up in that way by school size, as far as I understand.
Is it a radius thing then? Or
some of it, I believe, is. For some divisions, I believe it is. And then others, I'm not quite sure how it's done. we'd have to talk to somebody about that. Okay. But all that to say is, like, you have somebody, on the girls' side, say like an SJV, who is a national ranked team,
right?
Year after year, and they're playing against, schools, or their division is based with or filled with schools that, don't have that same talent pool,
right?
So if you take a school like SJV, shout out to SJV, but they're playing against teams in their division that wouldn't be able to keep up with them in a regular game. So now it's like, what do you do, and how do you address that? As a coach, it's difficult because obviously you have players that are talented on all kinds of levels. So, if we base this on a lot of feelings, what is that coach to do? Are they playing their starters for the first quarter and then the starters get punished for the rest of the game
Right.
because the score is out of hand? So that is my issue with it. Something needs to be fixed, but as far as I'm concerned, like I said before, I don't see the problem. I understand how some people can get in their feelings about running up the score.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it all goes back to levels. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Well, and let's kind of like sidebar and think about a individual or a couple players, right? That, if two players just eat, sleep, breathe basketball, and you're on a team that is a top of the top, and you're constantly playing these low level teams, I like how you said it. Why are you going to punish these players and only play them a certain amount of minutes because they put the time in? To me, when you said that, it just doesn't register. Why are we punishing these players for working hard and being good at what they want to do?
Yeah.
Simply because the other team isn't up to their status or up to their level. And it I think that brings a good point. And what would you like to see, like how these things change, like with these teams being in, or these different schools being in these conferences or groups, like what are your thoughts on how they should be able to change that?
I mean, ideally, I think that it would make the most sense to kind of like, for the most part, there's some recruiting schools, right? Then you have your township schools. I think that the schools that do recruit, and I'm sure you're not supposed to, but it happens, right?
Yeah.
Kids kind of elect to go to those schools because they tend to have the best of the best, right? And as a competitor, as a player who wants to get to the next level, as a player who wants to be prepared for the next level, I've got to go against the best, and I've got to be paired with the best so that I can, prepare myself. But I think that I would kind of see how we can realign these divisions so that they make the most sense. The players that, obviously are much higher level of play, and year after year, it's pretty much the same teams, right? So they almost need to be in their own division. And then after that, we can kind of separate them accordingly. Yeah. And I think you and I kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday. And here's one of the things that I like. And I think basketball needs to follow this
like the model of it.
The model of it, right? So when my daughter was younger, they played soccer. And her team, or the way that soccer works, is that there's several tiers of teams, right? So you could have, let's just say, Group A is the top tier, Group B, C, and so forth, right? So depending on how you play the previous year, the top team typically gets moved up a division. The bottom team usually gets moved down a division, right? So even if you're in Group B, right, which is kind of like the second level or the second best group, if you finish at the top of that group, now you have an opportunity to move up and play at that next group, right? Now, maybe that you find out that group is way too heavy for you, and ultimately the following year, guess what? You get bumped back down, right? So year after year, I think I actually like that model.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense because you're only spending 1 year, and it's basically, it's almost like that year you get to improve your stock, right?
Yeah.
So you get to improve, or you get a chance to kind of show what you're made of, or you get to kind of showcase what you have for the next couple years, right? So like, let's say, you had a senior class that was really good, but your incoming freshmen, they're going to have to they're good, but they have to be able to work. So, by their sophomore year, their junior year, they maybe are down and then they get to work their way back up. I mean, it makes total sense. Now, with that, like how, I mean, what, and again, I don't know how many teams there are here in New Jersey, but like how many, like what would you have, like a tier 1 all tournament, or like, you know, a tier 1 plays like the tier 1 champion plays the tier 2 champion, like, or will you just keep them separated and wait until the next year? Like,
no, I mean, ultimately that would be great, but unfortunately they got rid of the TOC.
Right.
So I mean, that if I were to redo everything, that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
Right. So the season starts out in groups. You know, your group is based on the previous year, how well you played. I'm sure we can involve like some PowerPoints or something in there based on schedule. But ultimately, I feel as though that would give everybody the one opportunity to be competitive year on out. But then also kind of like not be embarrassed or shamed as you play, right? Obviously, if you're a team that has no wins during the season and you're in the division of a Donovan Catholic or you know, some of these higher end schools, it's like, what am I supposed to do? And then ultimately, you know what winds up happening? The kids of those towns don't want to go there.
Right. Yeah. They don't want to associate themselves with a losing record or a team that doesn't know how to compete because they're trying to get to a certain level.
Yeah. So I think, again, if we go back to that model and we take a look at it, I think you'd be more likely to keep kids from transferring, more likely to keep them in the district as long as their district is competing and having opportunities to move up or down based on you know, their play.
Yeah. Well, and just from my personal experience, I, you know, going through high school, I would always talk to a lot of college coaches after certain games, and I want to say it was my junior year, we just fell short of 500, and I had a great year, but not a lot of coaches knew or kind of cared because of our record, right? So that's what, and I think you're falling back on your point, those kids that want to play and work so hard, they're going to start transferring to these winning schools because that's where the college coaches are going to gravitate toward, because they're always in the spotlight. They're always in the news articles. They're always, you know, on social media. Yeah. And it's funny, I don't know a lot of people that know this, but the only person that I know that went winless in his senior year and still got a Division I scholarship and made it to the NBA, do you know who that is?
Jimmy
Hendrix?
No, was it Jimmy Butler?
It was not Jimmy Butler. It might have been, but I don't know. I've never heard Jimmy Butler, but Anthony Davis.
Really?
Anthony Davis, when he was on like a very horrible Chicago high school team. I don't even know if he transferred, but he played for a really good Trout AAU team. But I know for a fact it was his senior year he went and learned this. I don't know about his junior year, but yeah, they didn't win anything. He tried to, you know, he produced as much as he could, but you know, he's like literally the only person that I know that went winless and still got a scholarship. But again, you're looking at Anthony Davis, who's, you know, he was a guard at 6'1" in a freshman year, and then all of a sudden grew to whatever he is now, like 6'11", 7 foot, and he still had kept those guard skills. But like those are very rare occasions, no, you're right? You're so, right. You know, and I think that's you know, right on where you said, like these kids that they want to be in the spotlight with college coaches. They want to get their name out there. They're going to transfer to these schools. That's just how it is. So I like the tier thing.
I think you bring up a good point too. Is like not many people know this, and we'll have to dive into this in another episode. But year after year, it seems as though the NCAA is kind of reducing the number of times that exposure events can take place, right? So year after year, they're making that time smaller and smaller. So college have less and less time to see the kids play. So if you think about it, as things stand right now, a lot of colleges they're not going to waste their time to watch a very high-powered school go against some of the teams that are in their division, right? Because that doesn't give them a good gauge of what some of the players in this high-powered school can do. So if we go to that tiered model, obviously, again, we're keeping that competition close, in which case now the colleges have another opportunity to kind of go see kids with competition that is equal to, their standard.
No, absolutely. I mean? No, I went to a game recently, and I mean, this boys team just demolished this other boys team, and there was a Division I scout there, and it was just kind of like, they already have sights on the player, but it was like, it almost felt like, why, to me just observing, it was like, why is he here? Like, this kid, he already knows, he's always in the, in the social media, in the paper, but it's like, you travel so far just to watch, this blowout. And then, on top of that, let's say, your coach, sits you for the next two quarters and you only played a half. Like, at that point, it's, I can see why scouting and recruiting has gone online or during the social medias, because of that reason. It's, they don't want to waste their time going to watch blowout.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think that's, I mean, all in all, I think that it needs to be fixed. I think that there's some ideas, if we collectively come together, that we can take to fix them. It just takes, there's too many resources and too much data and too much information that we have that it can't be fixed. At this point, if it doesn't get fixed, that means that they don't want it to be fixed.
Right, for sure. Well, and so what's your take on this coach getting suspended? Like, do you think it's the right thing? Like,
no, I don't agree with it.
Did they even do any digging into it?
I think it was the school that suspended him. So it wasn't like a different,
like the New Jersey high school.
Yeah, it wasn't, from my understanding, it wasn't that, but it was a school decision that kind of basically said, hey, these aren't our ethics, things like that. So, no, I don't. We gotta stop getting in our feelings. We gotta allow the kids to kind of experience some of these heartbreaks. Unless there's some kind of underlining stories that are going on during the game. A lot of times coaches are just trying to work on some of the things that they want to improve, some of the things that they think that they can get better at. And unfortunately, sometimes your team allows them to do that. Sometimes it allows them to get some of their players that haven't really played, and is that really the time to kind of say, hey, pump the brakes and pass the ball 10 times before you shoot? For a kid that doesn't normally get time, they're just excited to be on the floor just as everybody else, and I'm sure their parents came to see them just like everybody else. So to a certain extent, you got to let them play. I don't think kids should be punished because of the schedule or whatever it is. Let the kids play. Don't get caught up in the feelings and things that go behind it. It is what it is, man. At the end of the day, it's a score. And I can guarantee you, in college, it's going to happen.
Well, take the college part, right? I love watching college football, but some of the best rivalries come from running up the score, right? It just kind of ignites it starts the fire. Right. So like I can remember watching a USC and a Notre Dame football game. Those two are rivals. So anytime one of the teams have a chance to run up the score, It's not like they're, it's a rivalry. Yeah, we're gonna beat you, and we're gonna beat you bad, because you might have a down year. Same thing. Couple years, we might have a down year, so we know what's gonna come.
Yeah, and it I kind of like, to a certain extent, I think it kind of creates
it creates the buzz.
It creates some energy. Like, yo, last year they beat us. Da, 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 da. We're not gonna let that happen this year. You know what I mean?
You get the calendar, and you get to circle that game on the schedule. I mean, dude, like that's where all that determination and hard work and just that drive. Like, all right, throughout this summer, I'm only thinking about this team because this is what they did to us.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather than I'm gonna sit home and cry because I got whooped. I'm not gonna do anything about it. Like, come on, man. Like,
oh man, but yeah. So fix that. Fix that problem.
Fix it.
And yeah. And if your coach and your division is horrible, run up the score.
Run it up.
I'm for it.
We're behind you. If you need two people, we're your guys.
Oh man. So what we got? What we moving on to?
Well, all right. So let's talk about this is a good one. And I know we talked about this a couple of past episodes, but why 3-on-3 is more beneficial than playing on teams. So
I like it.
Why is 3-on-3 better than playing 5-on-5?
You want to go top 5 reasons?
I have 5 fingers and I can count to 5. So yeah. Number 1.
Top 5 reasons.
Top 5 reasons why 3-on-3 is better.
3v3 is better than 5v5.
Everyone get your pens and papers out. Let's do it.
So for one, I think, and I think that you would agree with it, that when you get in a 3v3, the kids are kind of forced to use more individual skill, right? So there's less room to hide.
Yep.
There's less room to kind of rely on 4 other teammates. It's you and your 2 teammates. So every possession that you get, obviously you have an opportunity to kind of use more of those skills.
Yeah.
You can use that opportunity to go 1v1. And with that comes more decision making as well.
Absolutely. And not even just 1v1, you get to learn how to play a 2-man game, right?
Yeah.
So like when I was, me going through 3-on-3s, it was like, all right, now I get to understand how to execute a pick and roll, right? And then not even just having that, always knowing that I have someone else that I can pass to, whether it's a shooter or not. So going back to your decision making, there's 3 options you can get right off of a pick and roll. You got the roller, you got your shot, you got the guy on the kick.
Yep.
I mean, what else do you need out of that? You know what I'm saying? So definitely love the tighter space, the quick decision makings, and obviously the more one-on-one time, man. Like, everyone's like, oh, you need to use what you learn in training into the game. But, 5-on-5, you don't have that luxury because the court's so big, because there's 8 other players out there, 9, including, your defender. So it starts to get very, that individual time just starts to disappear, and you don't have that one-on-one time. But I love that one. Number 1 is, that's huge. That's so big for players.
Number 2.
Dr. Evil.
It's a shorter court.
Yep.
Fast paced. I don't think that you can get any better, right? It kind of goes back into number 1 again. You don't have room to hide.
Yep.
But you have room to operate.
For sure. Well, think about it this way, so it's a shorter court. People are watching. You either get exposed or you can expose.
Yeah.
Right? So you get to, put someone on an island. You get to lock someone up. You get to see who actually is out there working on their game in the off time. Yeah, no, that's number 2 is great, man. I mean, I'm just like flabbergasted about the short court. Like, I love it because it's, gotta move.
Yeah.
Everything is fast paced.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? We're gonna take a little sidebar. 3-on-3 is becoming very popular. I'm pretty sure it's in the Olympics. Is it not?
It is.
Wow.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, no. You've got the Olympics, and they also have like a
What's the ice cube thing?
the Big Three.
The Big Three. It's a 3-on-3 tournament.
Yeah.
I like how that one moves because, like, as soon as you get a bucket, the next team gets it, they kick it out past a certain line, and it's like game on. Like, I don't even think they check up unless that's the Olympics. One of them style, you just grab and go.
Yeah.
Like, it makes.
No, I know the Olympics does it that way too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So going back to number 2, communication, right? So like the shorter the court, the faster the pace. You have to communicate with your teammates. You might get, and I think this might be a next one, but you have to match up not accordingly, but everything's going to be randomized. So you're going to have to obviously think faster. You might match up against a big, you might match up against a little. But the communication part is like, if you're not on the same page, you're going to get demolished.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. Number 3.
Pick number 3, my lord. That's a Shrek quote. Dude, I have quotes for everything.
I know you do. You get to play in a 3v3 game. You get to play multiple positions. You're not locked into guard. You're not locked into the post. You've got to play whatever position you're forced to play, offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
And with that comes a little bit of versatility that you have to have and have to build on. So I think that is definitely a very high benefit of 3v3.
Oh, absolutely. Think about, what we tell high school kids and middle school kids all the time. You're not getting paid to play a role.
Yeah.
Right? NBA will pay you to be a role player, right? Whether it's a screen setter, a rebounder, a garbage, like, we call them the garbage guy, the garbage men, like Dennis Rodman. You need to dive on loose balls. I need you to hustle here, get all that. People are going to pay you to be a corner 3-point specialist. That's a role. While you're a kid, high school, middle school, especially, be a sponge, soak up all the different all the different roles.
Yeah.
And, if you're great at one, great. And then start to filter into these roles that you're not so good at. So 3-on-3 with that, man, it's, like you said, if you're a small, you might have to play in the post.
Yeah.
And this is where you can learn your footwork. You can learn little around the basket shots.
Absolutely. And for the youth, I think that makes the most sense, right? Because we talked about a couple episodes, not a couple episodes, but in earlier episodes, how like
in season 1.
Yeah. How kids get pigeonholed into, certain positions and how they ultimately might outgrow that position come high school. So involving them in 3v3 at the youth level, they have an opportunity to do so much and have the opportunity to play those multiple positions where they can kind of fine tune their roles in the 3v3. When they get to AAU, they can play the role that they're asked to play and, kind of go from there. But I think it's a win-win from that perspective.
Take the Anthony Davis thing that we just spoke on, right?
Yeah.
He was a guard his freshman year, and then all of a sudden he grew to be a center, but with guard skills.
Yeah.
So now it's like, dude, you have a basically a unicorn that you can put him at any position and he's going to dominate.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So man, I mean, even just from my prime personal experience playing 3-on-3, me and my brother, we were always the shortest dudes out there. And, we play a tall, big team and, they're going to post us obviously. So one, that's going to teach us how to play post defense, individually post defense, because you're not always going to rely on a help, whether it's fronting the guy, pulling the chair out of behind him, letting him fall, trying to sneak around and try to steal the ball. But then the flip side of that is when you're on offense, you're going to have a big, slow guy on you, So now it's your turn to operate.
Yep.
So no, man, I love that.
Yeah.
Multiple positions, offense and defense. that's a win in my book.
Absolutely. Check it off. Number 4.
I don't have a quote for this one. I was trying to think.
You get different styles of varying play, right? So when you get into a 3v3, you almost have to, like you said, get into the pick and roll game, which you can get into. You can get into the 1v1 kind of play. But then defensively, you kind of have to fall into that same slot, right? When you get into somebody who's going to play that pick and roll game, now you've got to learn how and communicate how to play that defensively.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to get so many different types of play within that 3v3 that you wouldn't normally get in a 5v5 because coach is going to want to run the best thing that's going to, help them win.
Yeah.
So each game you almost got to have like a clean slate,
Well, think about it, right? What's middle school basketball teaching defense nowadays? A zone, right? Like, 2-3 zone. Like, okay, so you're teaching kids at a young age just to be, and I don't like to use the word lazy in defense because 2-3 zone, you still have to move and talk, but you don't have to be so on your toes on a 2-on-3 or 2-on-3. What did I just say? On a 2-3 zone rather than a man-on-man, right?
Yep.
So 3-on-3, it's nothing but man-on-man. You can't sit in a 1-2 zone. Unless someone's tried it, let me know how it goes.
You got to man up. You got to man up.
And this is where you have to take pride in your defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's, and trust me, your teammates should be able to let you know if you're getting burned because you don't want to be that guy to be picked on defense. And I've seen I've done a lot of picking on when I play 3-on-3s. I'm like, oh, this guy's weak. Yo, I'm going to give it to this guy. You go to work. We'll clear out. Bro, it's an easy bucket.
Yeah.
And then if you're on defense, you're like, oh man, I really need to work on my defensive skills. So, man, I especially for that, I believe defense is the best one for that.
Absolutely.
For the varying play.
And you know what? As you're saying that, you know what the worst thing that you can hear on a 3v3?
Help. Was I right?
Well, that's part of it, but
Help.
you don't want your teammate to turn over and be like, yo, you want me to grab him?
Oh, yeah. No, heck no.
Yo, you want me to get him?
Yeah. Yo, can we just play 2-on-3? Yo, man, go sit out. No, you're right, though. But, that's that.
Those are the things
should
that
be embarrassing to a player. Like, yo, dude, your defense or your hustle, your endurance, your stamina is just not up to date. Like, yo. And then that's the other thing. You might not get asked to be on that team again because of it, So now you're gonna be the lone wolf, 1-on-3.
You're gonna be on the sidelines talking about, yo, you got next. You need one.
Oh man.
But yeah, no. And then finally, I think there's a lot more, but number 5.
Mambo number 5.
A little bit of
Monica.
Oh man. But the scrappiness that you're able to build in 3v3. It's scrappiness is something that you can't really teach it, right?
Yeah.
You're only forced to build it.
Dude, I feel my blood pressure rising right now because I'm getting so excited. Like I want to play 3-on-3 right
Yeah.
now. But scrappiness, toughness, your ability, like if you're playing 3-on-3 outside on the pavement, you fall down, you get cut up, you get gravel burned, whatever it is, road rash. Like, dude, that's going to, I tell people all the time, that is how you can start to build toughness within your game because, 5-on-5, you're not, you might not be guarding the best player. You might not get switched up on the best player.
Yeah.
So you don't really have that scrappiness where you can start to build those traits.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that's the toughness part, scrappiness. That's huge, especially for players now that, I don't know how many people come up to us, but they just, parents say, my kid's got to be tougher. They need to be more aggressive.
Yep.
Well,
there we go. That's how you do it.
Look at Mumbo number 5. I like that.
That's a good list. Real quick to recap, top 5 reasons that youth players should play 3v3. One, they're forced to play more individual, use more individual skills, right? So one, they're forced to use more individual skills. 1v1, there's more opportunity for more and quicker decision making.
Yep.
Number two, there's a shorter court, so it's going to be fast paced, less room to kind of everything is going to be centered around that room. Obviously, there's a lot of room to move around because there's only 3 players, but that short court gives you nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
Right? You got to get out there and play defense. You got to get out there and play offense.
Communicate. You have to communicate, talk. Yep.
Yes. Number 3, you have the opportunity to play multiple positions, offensively and defensively, which is going to build some versatility within a player.
Yep.
So that's going to be a plus. Number 4, you get your varying styles of play, your 1v1s, your pick and rolls, your low post, high post, your different posts offensively and defensively, which is going to, again, build you as a player, give you the opportunity to kind of experience different things in that realm. And it's only going to make you better.
Yep.
And then finally, the scrappiness, number 5. You get that opportunity to build that scrappiness, know what it's like to kind of like put your all on the line for your teammates, because 3v3, again, there's no place to hide.
Yep.
It's you versus your opponent. You've got to be able to move quick. You've got to be able to make those quick decisions, and you've got to be able to have that scrappiness and fight in order for your team to stay on the floor.
Build that toughness. You build that grit. Man, I think number 5 might be my favorite, man. Just coming from a little guy, and you always get the big guys like, oh man, I'm gonna score on this guy, but like, oh man, just getting pushed around, pushing people around, getting physical. Number 5 is my favorite.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? I know I like all 5, but I like number 5 the most.
I like number 3, the multiple positions.
If you had to relist this order, what would you put it in?
Ooh.
Because this was in no particular order. Yeah. Right? Let's do it. Let's do it. Go the TakeFlight 1 through 5.
For my TakeFlight top 5.
I like that.
I would go at number 5. I'll go backwards. Number 5, I would probably say the varying styles of play.
Okay.
Number 4, I would probably say the shorter court. The fast-paced shorter court. Number 3, I would say the scrappiness. And then number 2, I would say the 1v1 and the more individual use of skills, the quicker decision making. And then the last, of course, would be the multiple positions, offensive and defensive.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that list.
How would you do it?
Well, I'm gonna go the Zach Leach top 5, and I'm gonna start from the bottom, and I'm gonna go from, let's see here. Man, they're so good. I just like them all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna first start off with the varying styles of play.
Okay,
right?
That's your 5.
That's number 5.
Number 5,
right?
Okay.
All these are important, but number 4, I would say the forced, where you have to force more individual skills.
Okay.
Because I think number 3, you have to learn how to operate during the shorter and faster pace, right?
Okay.
So number 3 would be the shorter court, and you have to learn how to communicate and think on your toes. Number 4, you have that force skill. Now you understand where the court is. You can start utilizing that stuff.
Gotcha.
The variable play is going to be number 5. Number 2 for me is going to be the multiple positions and the offense, defense, because it's huge. You're not putting yourself in a role. You get to experience everything. And number 1, obviously, just coming from a a short guy that has no business being on the basketball court is the toughness, right? Because just coming from, you're always going to be picked last. You're always the shortest. Basketball wants the tallest, whatever. But if you can show that you're aggressive, you can fall on the ground, you can, not fight, like not actually fist fight, but you're fighting for a spot on the floor. You're pushing people, they're pushing you, and you just keep coming back. I would love, like, we always we wanted players on our team that showed that scrappiness, because again, going back to the number 2, the multiple styles, if you didn't have a guy that was scrappy or couldn't guard anybody, that means, they can't guard on a switch or whatever it is. So they're not going to, it's just going to be an automatic point.
You know what? Now that you say that, I think that's actually very important. Like as a taller person, like that's one thing that I probably would say that most centers, forwards, 4s, 5s, maybe even 3s would say is like they hate dealing with scrappy people.
Oh, yeah,
because it's like
little gnats.
Like, yo, get out of here! Why? So,
well, and think about it this way, right? What about all the 4s and 5s that parents come in here, and what do they need? They're not aggressive, right? So they don't know. They just grab the ball, or they pass it, or they can't go get a rebound because they should be their tallest person, but they don't have that grit. They don't have that scrappiness. They're not hungry for the hunger. They're not hungry for the ball. So, I mean, that's why scrappy to me, I think, is number 1. But yeah, no, I mean, it helps everyone, man, from girls, boys, young, old.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd agree.
But
we got to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Do you want to give all the viewers, viewers and the listeners.
Are you going to do it?
I want you to give them a little Christmas treat. Give them a little Christmas gem, dude. Yeah, come on.
Oh, man.
You can play Santa. This would be the
Wait, I'm excited.
So excited.
I'm excited because I didn't think you were going to do that.
Oh, so this was my Christmas present to you, and now your Christmas present to them. All
right, so check this out, right?
Hey, we hope you stayed around for this.
If you've made it this far, listen.
Yes.
This is like a Christmas treat, right? So,
starting the year of 2023,
starting at guard. So no, in all seriousness, this is important, right? So, behind the scenes, we've kind of talked about what the kids need, right? So we've and I'm gonna draw this out as much as I can.
Just say it, dude. I'm so pumped right now.
No, but check this out, right?
I'm gonna go get a tattoo and a piercing after.
So we've said, behind the scenes, we've said, man, how can we know the problems in youth basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know where the issues are. We know where everything lies. So we need to make this happen. All right. First of all, listen, this is a live show, so we got to make it happen. We're going to let Cassidy in.
I'll be right back.
It's a live show, so what can we do, right? But we already know, right? Cass,
welcome.
Hello.
Say hi.
Come on.
Oh, I didn't know I was gonna be on videos.
Yeah, it's okay. Say hello to the people.
Hi.
State your name.
Hi, I'm Cassidy Deaver.
And where do you go?
Mm-hmm.
I go to SUNY New Paltz.
And what is that?
It's a SUNY school in upstate New York.
Okay.
Nice. And what's your year?
I'm a senior.
You're old. No, I'm just playing. How do you enjoy playing college basketball?
It's fun. It's definitely an adjustment from high school, I'd say.
Name 3 things why it's an adjustment.
I think it's like a lot more intense, especially the speed of play.
Okay.
Speed of play.
You got 2 more.
Come on.
I know. I'm thinking.
Well,
I think like you have a lot of people around you that are going to hold you accountable. Like it's a whole team full of people that are going to hold you accountable in practice, not just maybe a couple people like in high school.
Because they're all there for the same reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All basketball driven. Okay. I like it.
And then I think it's a lot more physical.
Yeah.
The physicality.
We were just,
look at that.
wow,
the
look at that.
scrappiness.
We were just talking about scrappiness.
No, guys.
Oh, look at that.
Were you listening live?
I had it on in the car. I was ready.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cass.
Yeah, thanks, Cass.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Say bye.
Say bye to the
You
viewers.
can follow me on Instagram, Cass.
Whoa. What are
Hey,
you doing?
yo.
What are you
We have to
doing?
pay for that.
Whoa.
Dude, you know what I loved about that? All of our listeners are still on edge because of our exciting news.
Yes. All right. So
Keep them guessing, bro.
back to this, right?
Yeah.
We already know all of the things that are wrong with youth basketball. We talk about it all the time. Sometimes
All the time.
we even put it in the podcast.
Dude, I call you at like midnight and be like, yo, remember that?
No, remember that? Why that kid is not doing so well? Right? No. But so with knowing that, we always talked about how can we build like the ultimate place for kids to grow, right? So as it stands right now, we only do the skills, right? That's our only focus. We only want the kids to learn.
And we're very good at it.
Very
We
good.
specialize in
if
it.
we say so
Very
ourselves.
great at it.
Yeah.
Cassidy even says it.
Yep. She says, hey, those guys are great.
I say it all the time.
Yeah. But if you think about it, we want to be able to give them the skills, but then when it came time to giving them the places where they can learn to be aggressive, learn to kind of play the game, we always took them and we sent them to other places, right? We
Do it.
we're gonna find a way. Let me rephrase that. We found a way
We found a way.
that we are going to do that, and we are going to be able to do that here. All right. So coming in 2023,
And the video cuts out. No.
we are going to be doing 3v3 basketball league
At Hoop Lab.
at Hoop Lab. Sports Center, breaking news. All right. No, in all
Yes.
seriousness, this is going to be something special, mainly because, again, all of those reasons that we named for you, they are going to be available for your kid to learn, available for your kid to grow, available for your kid to just become better basketball players because of this alone.
That is right. Dude, I'm so pumped. Because again, we always said that there was nothing really like that
There's nothing.
around here.
There's
and
nothing.
The fact that we have the ability to offer that, it is going to be a game changer for all the players that
Absolutely.
come here already and that are looking to come here in the future.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it is we are still our number one priority is the skill enhancement training.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be huge for kids that get to, let's say they just want to do their 3-on-3, but they need a little bit more because this Johnny over here is torching them with that drop through to a oh my gosh, to an under drag with a single leg foot replacement, butter.
Yeah.
And then they can just come to us and hey,
Yeah.
we got you, man.
And the beauty of it is there's not going to be a coach that's going to push them to do certain things. There's not going to be someone who's going to kind of make them play this or make them play that or instruct them in the entire time.
And I think that's the beauty of it.
That is the beauty of it.
The kids are out there to experiment and experience and learn their way.
Yep.
And we're going to emphasize that huge because players need to learn how to fail. They need to learn how to adjust.
Yep.
They need to earn success.
Yeah.
Man.
All of it. I'm excited. Listen, Hoop Lab
2023,
2023.
2K23.
Make sure, I promise you, if you have a youth that play basketball, make sure that this is the place that they go, because I promise you, at some point, it's going to be the biggest thing in New Jersey?
Mic drop. No, man, that's spot on, dude.
Absolutely.
I'm so pumped, and you guys are welcome. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from yours truly.
Oh man.
Oh,
So
man.
I mean,
Wow.
what do you think, man?
Man, this was by far my favorite episode of season 2.
No, that was good.
That was
But
a good
you know,
one,
that was really something that
Really
wasn't
needed.
planned, so it felt good to let that out, put that out there.
Yeah.
And I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Yes. Yeah. Drop any comments. We would love to hear your top 5 on your 3-on-3.
Yes.
You know, and give us your feedback on running up the score, because I know that's a huge topic, especially here in New Jersey. I love the tiers. You know, if there's a way that we can start maybe getting to the NJHSA, New Jersey High School Athletics.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is, bro.
Wait.
All I know is Michigan's. I don't know, but we need to get to someone, and they need to switch it.
Yeah, I
you
agree.
know, players should not be punished for being good.
I agree, 100%.
But
But yo,
so I have to ask though before we leave, what happened to peace? And this is a Christmas special. What happened to peace?
what happened to peace?
Peace. Mic drop.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cass.
In your face, Cass.
You get to see me. You saw it firsthand.
And you listened in your car.